Welcome to Wrestleology. I'm your host, Mr. Statistic, with my guest host,
Mr. Tiger?
Mr. Tiger. Yes, his name is Mr. Tiger, I understand. Now, today we're going to talk about how WWE should have, what they should, and what they could do in the next few years. And we're going to talk about how they can better their product with the title changes. Now, I'm going to start by asking Mr. Tiger who he believes should be the next champion, whether it be Universal and or WWE champion.
Rey Mysterio.
You believe Rey Mysterio should be the WWE champion? Why?
Well, he got all those cool moves, the 619, he got I don't know most of his moves, but...
Alright, Mr. Tiger is not as a wrestling fan, but he has favorite wrestlers, and he does keep in touch with wrestling here and there. Here's the problem with having Rey Mysterio as champion right now. Currently, he's wrestling in AAA, Lucha Underground. He also wrestles, looking into wrestling into TNA Impact Wrestling, also known as Global Force, but we don't really know what it's called right now. But he doesn't seem very interested in coming back to WWE. So it's kind of hard to say you want Rey Mysterio to win unless, he does a surprise return during Money in the Bank or the Royal Rumble. Other than that, I don't see it being very likely he's coming back anytime soon into a title picture. If anything, if he comes back, they're going to have to put him in a Cruiserweight division, and he's end up winning the Cruiserweight Championship. So who will be your second guess?
I have to say... Yeah, I don't know. The New Day.
New Day, which member? We mean like the whole team as a club?
No, Timberwolf.
Huh?
The Timberwolf guy. What is his name? Wolf Timberwolf? Tree Wolf. Shit. The guy that looks like Kofi Kingston.
Xavier Woods?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. See, I believe, personally speaking, Xavier Woods would be a good choice, but I think he's only up to like United States Intercontinental tier. He's not ready for the mainstream titles. I don't think he will ever be ready for the mainstream titles, to be quite frank with you. The person from the New Day that I believe should win the WWE or Universal Champion is hands down Kofi Kingston. This man has been showing up and showing out since 2008. And in 2009 was his peak when he was going against feuding with Randy Orton and winning. He also won he was a sole survivor in the Survivor Series that year. And he seemed to be at his peak, but WWE did seem like they didn't want to invest in him. Every Royal Rumble, it should give him a Royal Rumble win. Every Royal Rumble, he does some crazy moves. So they need to give him a win eventually, you know what I mean? But they have him in New Day, and I understand that he's very happy where he at, but he can be way better than a tag team. Yeah, he surpassed a tag team. New Day, I don't believe that New Day should end. I believe they should always keep connection like the Generation X. I don't believe they should fight each other, but I believe they should just keep a connection, and they need to start wrestling their own little paths. Big E can go on to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Or the Iron Man match.
Yeah, an Iron Man match. Big E can go for a long time. I believe that Kofi Kingston can win the Money in the Bank or the Royal Rumble and go on to win the Universal Championship. It seems very highly unlikely right now that he'll win a Universal Championship because right now he's currently on SmackDown Live. And Xavier Woods, he can go ahead and appear on SmackDown and win the Open Challenge, the US Open Challenge. And I believe that most of these wrestlers that are wrestling right now currently deserve a chance. And then SmackDown was supposed to give them that chance, but SmackDown hasn't given them that chance. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have given chances. They gave chances to jobbers like Jinder Mahal, James Ellsworth. But I really feel like they're losing a lot of... What's the word? Not only wrestlers, they're losing a lot of momentum. Meaning, they started off so strong. I was on Team Blue. I mean, I've always been on Team Blue because Team Blue always had my favorite wrestlers like Batista, Randy Orton.
You mean SmackDown?
Yeah, SmackDown. SmackDown always was the first home to John Cena, and then before he went to Raw. But Team Blue has always been my team, and I always liked the Team Blue. Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit. All these people was on Team SmackDown. Booker T before he went to TNA.
Team Red's better.
That's another debate. But but Team Blue was always my favorite. But right now they're losing a lot of momentum because they're not giving us what we really want to see. Of course, we want to see Shinsuke Nakamura. He's the current number one contender to the General House title. But of course, we want to see him win. Of course, we want to see him win. We also want to see Bobby Roode win. But then, we don't want to see that Bobby Roode versus Shinsuke Nakamura match 100,000 times. We don't want to see Jinder Mahal, as great as he may be, which he's not. But as great as he's getting better as a speaker. But overall, he's not really a good champion. He's stiff in the ring. His speaking has not been up to where it should be. His chemistry with other wrestlers seems like he's still a jobber. He's put a title on him. But I have been very disappointed with a lot of the wrestlers that has been wrestling. The only wrestlers that I'm really into is AJ Styles, Kevin Owens. Remember KO? Yeah, Kevin Owens. Those are good wrestlers. But the whole Kevin Owens situation right now is just stupid. Don't put him against Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon's past his time. We want to see Kevin Owens versus Bobby Roode. We don't want to see a has-been like Dolph Ziggler, who should have been retired or left WWE 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and wrestled in the Indies. But we don't want to see a has-been Dolph Ziggler go against Bobby Roode. That don't make sense. Just like...
I have a question.
Oh, what's the question?
What would be the best match between two WWE matches?
Like, I mean, two wrestlers that's good right now?
Yeah.
Honestly, the match I really want to see would be Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle on WWE soil. They have always put... Kurt Angle's currently the Raw General Manager. But those two has always had great chemistry in the ring. They have always put on amazing matches. They have always showed up and showed out. So, excuse me. When you put those two in the ring, if anything, it could be like Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles, Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle... Or even put all three of them in the ring at the same time. Like, for instance, if you think back to TNA's 2006 Turning Point or 2006 Genesis, or even the 2008 their Lockdown match, these matches were really good. Even in the most recent match in 2000, taking place in 2013. And TNA right before Kurt Angle decided to, right before he started to get ready to leave. These matches were really good. They had great chemistry. They worked well together. I personally want to see Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles, and put Seth Rollins in that versus Seth Rollins. That'd be a great fatal four-way. And even if you put a six-pack match on that, adding Kevin Owens or Cesaro. These are wrestlers that should not be where they're at. They should be either higher or they should be already been a champion. Cesaro has been wrestling in WWE for well over 5-6 years now. Have not got the recognition he deserved. Now he's teaming up with Sheamus. And the furthest he's gotten was like a United States title run and just past is it the current champions right now? I don't think they're the current champions right now. I think the current champions are Ambrose and Rollins. So the current champions are Ambrose and Rollins. So I believe... Yeah, so Ambrose and Rollins, who are former members of the Shield, are the current tag team champions right now. But I believe... Now, don't get me wrong. Cesaro and Sheamus chemistry, tag team chemistries, it's off the rockers. Like, these guys are very, very good together. I really enjoy them wrestling, right? Problem is, they have no real good tag team to wrestle against. The Hardy Boys are stuck in a gimmick.
New Day?
The New Day's not on the same brand. Ambrose and Rollins is on Raw, and New Day's on SmackDown. And even still, New Day and versus Ambrose and Rollins. I don't think that'd be that really that good. Unless they do a triple threat. I mean, a 6-man tag with Ambrose, Rollins, and Roman Reigns and the New Day. But I don't even think that'd be a good match. Personally speaking, I think they should keep Roman Reigns far away from Seth Rollins and Ambrose as possible. Roman Reigns is toxic. Roman Reigns, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's getting better as a wrestler. I enjoy his wrestle style. I'm starting to enjoy his talking. But Roman Reigns, being who he is now, should stay far away from Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins while they're doing good. The show got me so far off topic. I'm just rambling on now. I don't remember our topic. What was our topic?
What would be the best wrestlers in a match?
Right. Oh yeah, best wrestlers in the match. But yeah, honestly, I mean, the current roster is looking very slim. If I could see Bobby Roode versus I got
one.
Ooh.
If any wrestlers could come back from this, I would say Kane, Triple H, and The Undertaker.
You know what? You're right. Bobby Roode versus Triple H. That match would be the match of the ages because Bobby Roode resembles Triple H so much in his wrestle style and especially in his image. Yeah, I would definitely say Triple H. The Undertaker. I don't want to see Bobby Roode wrestle the Undertaker. Honestly, I think Undertaker should retire. Much as I love seeing him wrestle, he needs to retire because he's a 50-something-year-old has-been who has passed his prime and he just needs to retire. Personally speaking, I would love for Batista to come back. Right now, he's currently shooting movies, but I would love for him to come back and do one more run and change the game because right now, I feel like they need to bring back a lot of older wrestlers to get the newer wrestlers right, or WWE will not survive.
I'm gonna stop you right there. The Undertaker should do whatever he wants. You're saying he should stop being wrestling because he's just 50 and something.
Right.
But he's still a good wrestler, so I think he should keep fighting.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. He has natural skill to be a wrestler, but the problem is, if we would have saw him in his last match, he was moving slow. I understand he needed his hip replacement, and he got it now, and he's healthy again. But he was moving slow. He couldn't keep up. He's getting out of shape. He's a lot bigger than he used to be, as in fatter. I mean, he's getting older, and his body can't really take as much as it used to. I believe he still can wrestle, but it won't be as good as his matches used to be.
But look at the Big Show.
The Big Show got in shape, though. Big Show, he's about 40. He's in his late 40s. But Big Show is in the best shape of his life currently. He worked out. He changed his whole life around. He's not the Big Show. He's like the muscle-bound Big Show now. But he's a jobber now. He's going to retire anyway. But the Big Show, he's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. But Big Show's not moving like he used to.
Alright.
Even Triple H don't come around and wrestle like that anymore. Triple H in his 46.
How about Kane?
See, Kane was wrestling in his 40s. Yeah, Kane was still wrestling. I mean, Kane had a peak in 2013 where he had the masked Kane running around, and then he had another run right after that. Corporate Kane. Kane still can move. I think Kane still can wrestle. Kane didn't take that as much damage as the Undertaker did, and I believe Kane still could wrestle if he wanted to, but he wouldn't be able to wrestle as good as he used to wrestle. There's a time about to run out, so we'll continue this on our part 2. This is part 1, so look out. Part 2 is gonna drop soon right after this. All right, let's go ahead and start part 2. We're gonna start off on the.
I think we just started off.
Yeah, the next wrestler that are old but still can move. All right, this is Mr. Statistic and Mr. Tiger signing off. Wrestleology, real wrestling the right way.